My name is Jens Thraenhart. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., which is the official national tourism board of the Caribbean island of Barbados.
Thank you once again for giving Breaking Travel News your valuable time. Jens, what I'd like to kind of find out from you really, I think, in this conversation is your kind of key takeaways from the summit here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Well, I think first of all, Saudi Arabia and WTTC, they put an amazing show on. And especially coming out of COVID, I think it's great to come back together, talk about what the future of travel looks like. And when we look at these giga projects from NEOM to Red Sea Development Corporation and so on, I think we really see the future of travel and tourism happening right here in Saudi Arabia. So I think it's amazing to be in the middle of it and be inspired obviously by the leadership of His Excellency Ahmed Al-Khatib, who really, I think, in just 5 years, put something on the map and is developing something that will, I think, transform travel and tourism as we know it. I can tell you, Justin, I've been to Saudi Arabia 10 years ago when I was hosted by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities at that time to help them with digital transformation. But I think it's a whole different country, as it was 10 years ago. So it's very exciting to be here.
And from a global kind of tourism and travel kind of perspective, what have been the real kind of takeaways for you?
Well, I think people are very bullish. I think people say, well, travel is back. But I think the question is, how is travel back? When you look at these projects here, sustainability is not an add-on anymore. It is all about sustainability as being the foundation, how these projects are being developed. And I think that's the key. And interesting for an island like Barbados, where I think many of the Caribbean or other island destinations where sustainability is so critical. When you look at climate change, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Mia Mottley, being a global voice when it comes to climate change. When we look at tourism, we're still kind of a bit behind in making that the core of how we do tourism. It becomes an add-on, kind of build practices around it. And that's important when it comes to single-use plastic and food waste and just being responsible travelers and looking at inclusive tourism. But I think what we learn here is that it is the core of how we develop tourism and how we think about tourism. And I think that's what other islands like Barbados can learn from this.
And we have individuals, powerful ministers, kings, queens, princes, ministers here at the summit. How do you think the world can really sort of come together, particularly in this kind of sector, to kind of really put sustainability at the core?
Well, I think the first thing is that COVID has taught us that tourism is not just about hotels and airlines and tour operators. It really is the visitor economy that connects everything together. And I think it's something that becomes very important when we look at tourism, that it impacts so many lives and that it really drives economic impact. I think the other thing is, and I actually talked about this before COVID, is that it's all about balance. And I think when we talk about sustainability, and actually I'm not a fan of the word sustainability, I'm more about regeneration, where sustainability, we're looking to make sure that things don't get bad, but regeneration is to make things better. And I think when it comes to tourism, we need to look at a balance. And I think, before we talk about over-tourism, now we talk about under-tourism as we're trying to recover again. And I think in the end, we need to have that balance where it's really inclusive, where we create value for all stakeholders, including the residents, including the visitors, including the businesses, and all together play a part and have a voice in how we shape tourism going forward.
Jens, thank you for sharing your voice today.
Thank you, Justin. Always a pleasure.
Oh, good. Thank
Great.
you very much.
All right.
Thank you. That's great.